Following the trail of spice shipments, we made our way up to Nunavut Bay, Canada, the secret hub of Jean Bisson's shipping empire. As a young man, he trekked across Canada to strike it rich during the gold rush of 1852. An avid prospector, he took some chances and ended up buried alive in an avalanche. Miraculously, the quick freeze kept him alive, and 120 years later, thanks to global warming, he thawed out. A product of his time, he dreams of taming the wild north, damming every river and chopping down all the trees, with progress delivered at the sharp end of an axe. Shipping spice for the Claw Gang proved a lucrative way to bankroll his one-man war against nature, and yet, I have to feel a little sorry for him. He's just a normal guy from the 1850s. Back in his day, he'd be a hero, but today, he's a villain. Either way, that man's got more than his fair share of the clockwork parts. What a low-tech guy like Jean Bisson is doing with robot parts is a mystery. I almost don't want to know. But as always, it's only a matter of time before I find out.
into the wilderness. Don't be fooled. It's the control center for Jean Bison's trade empire. Sneak inside and raid his files. You're sure to find out where he keeps his clockwork parts.
Ransacking his files doesn't sound hard. Now, climbing up a sheer rock wall? That'll be a challenge.
You're in luck. Before Jean Bisson took over, this used to be a popular destination for rock climbers. Some of their old wall hooks are still around.
I'm guessing I just jump and hit the circle button to latch on.
That's right. And remember to lean back before you spring off the hook. You'll get more altitude.
Thanks for the tip. I'll give it a try.
Jackpot, Sly. That's Jean Bisson.
Looks like he didn't notice me come in.
Just stay out of sight and take a picture of each of his trade routes. They should narrow our search for his share of the clockwork parts.
All right, I'm on it.
Hello, Arpeggio here.
Salutations, Mr. Arpeggio. Y'all got time to shoot the breeze?
Of course, for you, chum, always. Although must we communicate through that dreadful speakerphone?
Yeah, I can think better while my legs move. Pumps blood to your brain.
Yes, of course. One must keep blood in one's brain. But do tell, is there some pressing matter you'd like to discuss?
First off, are you still coming on schedule to get that Northern Lights battery?
Sly, did you hear that? Bison's hidden the Iron Horse blueprints in his trophy bass. Head for the fish. Excellent. Now get out of that cabin before you're spotted.
Bullseye. For second, when you gonna give me a look-see at that clockwork?
After analyzing Bison's decorating techniques, I think we'll find the other trophy bass above the mantle in the 2 remaining cabins. Yep, just like I thought. Get to the fish above the mantle and steal those blueprints. 2 down, 1 to go. The last trophy bass is above the fireplace. Be careful.
Attention all cabin guards. I've heard tell from the boy. In Ponderosa cabin, there's someone bending my hidden blueprints. Everyone stay sharp. This ain't no summer camp. I don't pay you boys to lollygag while there's a thief in these parts.
Exceptional work, Sly. That's the last of the blueprints, we should be able to isolate and track the Iron Horse trains through that satellite dish.
Top of the mountain, huh? Shouldn't take long.
This appears to be the only way up. Keep an eye out for those rock climber wall hooks. They might be useful. This is great! We've got total access to the train's GPS system. It's all on my computer. Head back to the safe house. I'll crunch some numbers and give you and Murray the rundown.
Thanks to Sly's efforts, we now know the location of all 3 of the local clockwork parts. 2 lugs and a stomach. John Bisson has grafted each piece to the engine in one of his Iron Horse trains. This improvement allows the trains to run all night and all day. We won't have the luxury of sneaking in while they're stopped. While they're in motion, the only way aboard is through a hatch on the caboose roof, which unfortunately has been locked down. These need to go. First, collect the spice gas from the balloons above town, and then land on the back of the caboose to blow off the locks. Once the way is cleared, I'll suit up and jump into Iron Horse number 1 while it passes near town. With some luck, we'll have the first clockwork lug in a few hours.